circle alone, just because the flight path itself, VPE, they are all West Side teams, right?
That's right.
Alongside with EVOS, Team Secret themselves, alongside with Genesis Dogma. So now they have to look for a new drop spot, and EVOS is already dropping. YG, though, on the other hand, already meeting up against Onyx. It was the whole 3 members against the 1. Surely, with the math alone, does not add up. You are a subtraction.
Yikes. Yep, subtraction, deletion. Okay, sorry. I'm supposed to go on the math terms, right? So this is what? I'm bad at math, so I'm not even going to try.
You don't have to. No, as I was saying,
okay.
EVOS has EVOS, Team Secret, Genesis Dogma, VPE, and Bantam is going to have a hard time moving onto their regular drop spots. And we saw EVOS already losing 2 members, just jumping into a new spot they had to adapt to.
Exactly, and I feel like when it comes down to drastic changes like that, it is a huge risk for any team to take. Unless you know that there is no other option that you should be taking in this particular map, then it's more of that adaptation of how you've been able to read your enemies when you're either taking a break in that Sanhok round, which most likely than not, you don't always get that privilege because you only got 1 set where you just have to rest up, and that map does not have to include Sanhok. It could have been an Erangel run. Now, 4Rivals is right down below this hill. As much as they're on the lower ground, they may have actually get a little bit of an advantage across where BN, they don't really have those angles, but it's White Cat once again. I think the Cat has some sense of those noises moving up the hill, so he's going to open fire. Oh, didn't really catch the shot.
You could see hairs just sticking out its tails here. White Cat already sees movement. But will the other members of Bandam actually come in to help him, though? Nades are being tossed on forward. Doesn't clip onto anyone. White Cat is trying to trade, but Abby will get into cover. Meanwhile, Rith will take him down. White Cat being left alone. It says, but from the high ground, though, it's set up nicely for the member of Bandam. From the high ground, takes down 2 members from the 4Rivals.
It's Al Capone over on the top side of the hill, trying to, of course, get some deals being done. And this isn't really the trade that he desired, but that's all that they could possibly get out of this. Meanwhile, April tries to secure first blood for 4Rivals. Eventually, they'll be able to secure it either ways. And Capone, he gets the knock onto April. This looks pretty bad for 4Rivals right now.
Yeah, they're pinned down and got nowhere to run here by the rocks. Cannot overpeak. Meanwhile, Chonburi is making a drive and forward. Appy gets a trade on to confirms White Cat, but Chonburi is in the wrong place at the wrong time as one of Bandam, Sunaz, scouts him out.
By now, 4Rivals should be able to go in for the pickup. Michael Boy now gets a refrag, and this time taking down Fredo. So that's pretty much an even trade now that they've also eliminated Fredo from the get-go. It's an eye for an eye as they remove a player off of Team Secret. And what irks me the most about that fight between 4Rivals as well as BN here is that they could have actually take preemptive measures in order to protect White Cat from dropping down. And he was trying to single out the entirety of the team all by himself, while Silence kind of whiff a few shots right across with Chonburi just basically going all full Toretto mode. I think he drove up the hill and now back down. Not a really good place to be as he's trying to dodge every grenade. And that M4 should be able to actually bring him down the knees. Known as should be able to secure this one.
Yeah, things are getting pretty rough for 4Rivals here. It's such a messy engagement they found themselves into, but they have to finish the job now because FaZe coming in with the third party, takes down Zunoez. And Tony K from the far side here scouts one out, and surely 4Rivals, this is an opportunity for them to make some moves and get out there because the pressure has been alleviated.
Well, I really want to bring up this point as well, why so many teams are hitting up this hill. Remember the first circle when the Pearson were onto the Alpha Island. This is the best spot to be. It doesn't matter if it shifts later on. This is the focal point for you to secure the perfect vantage field of view across the entirety of the island. You want Hatin, you got to check, just move up north. You want to look at the south side of ruins, yeah, you got to check as well. Even better, just pick anybody from the Camp Alpha side, and they can't afford to even hide under those bunkers. So definitely a really tough spot to be for the side of the end. Now they're going downwards, and I don't know, this isn't really the smartest decision, but they're willing to take that risk.
Yeah, meanwhile, Axis, yeah, they got the drop they wanted, pretty reachable from the flight path they were given, so this should be a breeze for them, just looting up. Do you think Axis is a bit underwhelming today, or do you think that they are just as dominant as they were in
I would say that at least they started off strong, but they have not been able to impress as compared to the way that they did back in their local league. So if you want to look at Mika as well as Voki, they usually come in this tandem pair when you have Kachang Susu as well as another player that's going to be supporting Kachang Susu. But the plan when it comes down to Sanhok is always to supply all the meds necessary for Kachang Susu to outlast everybody else if plan A fails. Now, going up that bridge is going to be you, High Boy, having all the strength muster up, a whole lot of stamina to go, as he's pretty much the fresh pair of hands that's been able to make his debut for today. To correct me if I'm wrong, you know, last week, we haven't really seen that much of Yuhai.
No, I don't think he played at all. It
Right.
was an issue, and I think a lot of people in the chat or comments were just saying, is it fun to move over to BTR just to be a bench player? They were giving him a lot of heat. But of course, I think he only recently made the flight over, or he just touched down or something today, and maybe got his good night rest to come in fresh for today. So it seems like more like it than not. That's exactly what the Malay casters told me. So don't pin me on this info.
Don't at us. Don't at us. All right. Another thing, big takeaway from that interview that we had with Tash Bunny. That's why I tagged her and say she's been asking all the right questions. You know, like what's going on. And Yangon Galacticos so far hasn't been able to, of course, secure stability when it comes down to connections. And, you know, these are some of the added challenges when you're actually playing online. And, you know, latency is a thing that you honestly can't control. Like, if you're a top team in the world and you have latency issues, it's going to be the bane of your existence, or basically your nightmare. Now, grenades exchanged between Sembe as well as FaZe Clan. Well, this seems to be a pretty tough place to be, as Era has already knocked down Save A. Is going to be facing off against Tony K. Molotof's already putting out over and back. I guess it's a little bit too far off. Now coming in with the peak, and Sembe, he's catching fire already, and he will eventually get knocked. Two more members remaining for the side of Onyx. And Death, he's a little bit too far. He's just going to go in for a spray and pray. Meanwhile, Venturis secures the kill. This is FaZe Clan bouncing back up with the huge deficit that they had back in Erangel, and Sky Only is just spawning out Core Pine, but not really having the perfect pixel shot, with so many of all these tree branches just blocking his eyes.
Oh, but C-Sky did confirm the kills on the Tony K. That is a huge loss for FaZe Clan. Wish you could kill. Oh my god, look at the circle.
What is this? Come on, guys.
This is why it was removed from competitive for the longest time, for at least for a brief period. And now it's making a comeback, and it's just a reminder on how hard it is to play this map and how the RNG rolls the dice and where it lands.
You know how I would approach this? If I mean, if I were in this game and I know that I'm not a hot shot, I'll take a boat, I'll drive it in the middle of the open waters. Yeah, sure, just take out my boat. I'm just gonna be just next to that fried boat right across, and I'm still gonna be in phase 5 by then.
That's true. That is
Maybe.
true.
Just a clean maybe, because it's still phase 2. Kit here secures 1 kill, and we only have 55 players left. Okay. When you look into the right side corner of your screen with all these teams blinking in blue, that means that they are outside of the play zone. I don't even want to count how many teams were outside of the play zone for that moment. Like, half of the screen is just blinking.
Actually, majority of the 16 teams are already on that small island. So you know there's going to be a bloodbath. They have successfully migrated over, which I'm impressed that there's still 16 teams remaining, but that number is about to drop very fast as Eagle Esports from the high ground spots out Ventoris. FaZe Clan already losing one member, cannot risk losing even more. That is essentially, effectively, your firepower going on the other way. Meanwhile, Parajin with 4 rivals here. Appy getting stopped in his tracks on his knees now. Will have to try and play this one out against him. It's Rith trying to tank it up from the... Oh, cooks up the nade, though. Will it connect, though? No, it will not.
Definitely is going to be a tough one to follow up with this. Namshin just trying his luck, hoping that it somehow has a miracle bounce that could drop right upon 4 rivals. Meanwhile, Datcon, though, got some really good spot to hide out for the very moment. And currently, they really don't have to budge off. This is possibly the perfect position that they need to be at. Meanwhile, April just by the Temple Hills. Gonna be taking a few booster shots as they have pretty much deteriorated all these resources. Just look at the vest. It's almost gone. No more first aid kits. I wonder, did he pass that first aid kit over, or he's just basically using all that he's got?
Oh, look, it's going to get ugly for 4 rivals, though. They're not out of the fire just yet. Getting pinned down in place here. They did get the revive back onto Appy, so that is a small victory from them, not losing a single members. But how long can they hold it off as 4 rivals is split 2 and 2, 2 on a high, 2 on a low, with Eagle Esports getting in prime position to scout them out here.
That's right. Eagle Esports. So far, the most consistent team from Vietnam for week 2. And we are looking at Chopper, possibly the best player of Vietnam at some point of time. Now, just showing up again in the C Championship here, definitely have solidified his name as possibly a legend in the Vietnam scene. Oh, right down below, just look at Booms! Just swerving his way across, and that is a clean kill coming from Genesis Dogma as they navigate their way across the hut. So far, he possibly didn't expect anybody through the play zone that is going to be lurking around.
Yeah.
And look what he have.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's count. There's like 2-3 teams still outside. Where's Geek Fam, though? I really want to know where exactly is Geek Fam, because like they usually play around ruins, sometimes in the Alpha Island. I think they should be already inside.
Yeah, they're in. I see a big geek.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect. Just like we asked for it. So far, this has to be that perfect setup for them. They don't really have to go ahead to point the gun up over onto those hills, because that's definitely a huge risk to take when you have Eagle Esports already in prime position. But they could definitely chime in maybe a little bit of third-party action once the circle shifts. Maybe it goes directly to Camp Alpha itself. Then Geek Fam possibly could actually win the game off that.
Well, it's looking more likely than not here, because already half of the circle is already in the waters. So you would have expected the circle to still be within the circle, and Camp Alpha seems more likely than not. So maybe
FaZe Clan can challenge, though.
Yeah, but they are one member down, losing Tony K. Still very lethal, don't get me wrong, but do they want to play that odds, seeing as those 16 teams still alive?
Well, finally, Voki has made his way in. And if you look towards his left, they can spy with their little eyes that there is Team Secret. Now, Ventoris has infiltrated the boot camp area. Well, Camp Alpha. Technically, it's a boot camp as well, right? Just a mini boot camp going on. Grenades flying right in. Oh my word! He's carrying S12K just with the surprise. And well, oh well, KF is gonna be burned down. That's a rough way to go out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if somebody's already down on the ground, it's like one pub will do the trick. But you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna clear some space in my baggage and like, okay. Now I just have to deal with Microboy.
Yeah, I guess maybe he's not sure where the other members were. He doesn't want to over-peak. Maybe that could be lethal for him. So decided to throw one out instead. But here is the potential highlight here as FaZe tries to contest this compound against the like of Geek. But Corbine gets third party out by NFT Esports. And now 2 members from the side of FaZe Clan is left remaining here. Now it seems impossible to push into such a compound. Being, you know, you're going out in the open. You are the one pushing in, and you're the ones with the lack thereof.
Yeah, and always when I look at all these sort of the military camps or so, there's always this interesting shape of a block. And I still don't really have a name for it, but whoever does know, pop it down in the comments because I definitely gotta up my game there when it comes down to some of all these stuff. Microboy all alone, 2 versus 1. And that's going to be C-Sky only pushing forward. This is one. Hey! Oh, he gets him! They might just be able to bleed out through the zone. Microboy just had to heal up. He can't push forward. And this is it. Jeff's now taken down. And this is the biggest Avenger play coming out of Microboy. He's only got 1 first aid. He can't go in for the pickup. He found another one. So all he has to do is just heal up. Meanwhile, C-Sky only. He's going to be propelling forward. He's going to break the door. Now it's now or never. Now with a little bit of push. It's going to be Onyx taken out. Microboy with the clutch.
My God, Microboy totally outplayed that situation here. Oh, Genesis Dogma gets a kill onto Hey New, but man, Microboy, that guy was as good as dead, but he outplayed the situation with a single nade and turned it all around. This guy is insane. That's why he's such a hot contestant pick. That's why he was part of the world-dominating roster in Bigetron back in the days.
That's right, and now he's definitely making his mark as the best player out there of Indonesia as they try to claim the title away from Bigetron RA. Aliens Ventorius finally spots a lurking Riff that just squeezed right by the fences. And I don't know how he got there, but 4 Rivals definitely had a Valen temp right across. So we will set our sights onto the Temple Hills once more. Let's see how they climb downwards, where the circle does not favor any of them as it moves further into the northwestern side, I do believe. So definitely a little bit of a dicey situation. Rabbids now gets a shot, while Yangon Galacticos, they don't know that there's going to be Eagle Esports that's going to be trailing right behind. So this is going to be pretty rough. But before though, he finds 2 in a row. And that's Yangon Galacticos once again with a rough run to end off Sanhok.
Yeah, that was a surprise attack that did not welcome the entrance of Yangon into their layers here. Takes the entire squad of Yangon Galacticos, eliminating them. But now they've got more company than they can handle as to Eagle Esports toss the nade up forward. Oh, more smooks on the ground, but 4 Rival, they seem to be cornered. They're like a endangered animal here, being cornered. Can they bite? They will not. In fact, they will bow out with only 4 kills under their names.
At least they secured the 4 pointers out there, or else they won't be able to receive any points at all. Miracle from Geek Fam. Now finds those opening shots. They managed to tap one down. Porks needing to eventually climb downwards. It's Paragon that opens up a little bit more spacing. And Napshin, he needs to heal up. There is really not too much time, and he gets knocked down. How much more space can they actually get out of this? BN's gonna chip right in. Chopper's the next one to fall. Not looking all too great, making too much of a noise as they try to cut right by. And lo and behold, Geek Fam predicted perfectly. Still having the circle within their grasp. And now it's only down to Paragon to make plays.
Well, that or not so much. Again, Paragon's the only one left here, but maybe it's his friend Datcom who's the one who's going to be playing the healing game most likely than not. Because Paragon seems to be going on in a suicide mission, tries to push on forward onto these kampong houses, but is being spotted out, will get sprayed down, and well, that is looking like the end of Paragon's life, but his friends will hold on the banner for as long as he has meds.
This is Dogma also have fallen as these battles continue. Camp Alpha is really a tough place to play out from now. Look at you, High Boy. He is going to be cutting off the entirety of the Camp Alpha exit. So he might just be able to get a few pointers in. as he tries to spot Maroon 5. He is now cutting across the corner. This is going to be a great spray coming out of you, High Boy. That's going to be the second pointer out there, but I believe he's getting shot from across. Mila getting naded by members of BN, and they could start to clean up. There's one more player right behind the tree, and that's going to be a real great pickoff. And we are looking at Logan navigating his way. That's 2 kills to his name. Meanwhile, Newsy is also trying to sprint his way forward. There's so little time left, and they just have to play the killing game. There's no other options out there. Dammer with the M249 finds Ventura. Meanwhile, Newsy is also trying to sprint his way forward. There's so little time left, and they just have to play the killing game. There's no other options out there. Dammer with the M249 finds Ventura's of FaZe Clan, and that's 4 elims for them with 12th place finish.
Logan's not done just yet, still dancing around these cars, just trying to get the kill, and he will. That will be another team eliminated from the entire map of Sanhok. That is Banam with only 3 kills in their names, and DX Xavier still alive. We've seen them struggle for the first 2 matches. Meanwhile, Matoy is up against BTR. It's the Team Secret BTR matchup that the fans have been waiting for. But I guess D Xavier will steal the spotlight as he shoots down Team Secret in the third-party attempt here. He's taking some hits from the back, but he will secure 1.
My word. These bullets are flying from everywhere. I don't even know how they actually navigate their way around. Jumper is still alive, but Matoy is already bleeding out. I don't think there's any time for Jumper to actually go in for the pickup. And we were hoping for that Team Secret matchup against Bigetron RA Aliens. That's not going to be happening anytime soon. Taps after taps. And this is where Ramones will shut down Team Secret, as that will be an 8th place finish. Not what they have hoped for, as they were just trying to squeeze right by the top 5. Meanwhile, Zuxi, that's some long-range coverage, looking over into the corners of the cove, but they won't be able to actually get the knock with some great smokes being set into place. Geek Fam still within that circle. How are they doing this? Meanwhile, Bigetron RA Aliens, they need to march forward, and I don't know if they're going to be pinned out or what, but there's so much angles to cover. Meanwhile, there are still players playing that healing strat right across the blue zone.
But take a look at the circle, though. Geek Fam has got compounds for days, still scratching inwards off the circle area, so it should favor them for the most part. In fact, taking out BTR Zuxi in their attempt. APG still alive and kicking. Meanwhile, Duck will be playing the healing zone, as you called it. APG on the stride here, taking out NFT, but Geek Fam's up against BTR, having compound advantage. Ryzen from the back end will take out Damru, their best player, but from the far end, QB spots him out, will eliminate the entire squad of Bigetron RA Aliens.
Geek Fam, this is their game to lose right now. They got the best circle that they could ever ask for, and them making that decision to get into Camp Alpha definitely has paid off. Now, DX will lose 1 member out, and is only down to 3 teams. Access Rate 1, they're not exactly inside of the map. It's between Geek Fam as well as Anchor PUBG. And I believe I know who that is. It's either Katak Susu to play that healing game. Meanwhile, Anchor PUBG only has 3 members left available to fan off against Geek Fam. But this is still very much doable if you look at the current situation. Katak Susu, he's slowly approaching. Okay, he's walking his way through. How far is this? Okay, he's running. He's running.
But he's not going to make it most likely, though. But if he does, that would be an amazing miracle. But take a look at the circle. It's favoring the side of Geek Fam. No pressure to come out from the compounds and the little cover, natural cover that they have. It's APG that's on the clock here, and obviously Kachak Susu has got the healing game down. APG gets knocked down.
He's got no more Xavier. He's got to run in.
Doc actually third party his way through, and that's going to leave some opening for Geek Fam to play a little bit more aggressive. We'll take down the Axis. Kachak Susu immediately to push on forward. APG left in the smokes, playing behind a lot of natural covers here. The trees are too slim to act as one, and they will wipe the entire APG, but what? I think someone's up here and just healing. They will eventually close the game. Geek Fam taking Sanhok for the second Sanhok map of the day.